Welcome back to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club, Season 2, baby. We're still anxious, still thriving-ish, and this season, we're diving deep into one of the most complicated, beautiful, and straight-up messy parts of motherhood.
Relationships. The ones that lift us up, the ones that drain us, and the ones that change when motherhood hits like a wrecking ball.
From ride-or-die friendships to awkward playdate moms, from supportive partners to the ones who just don't get it, we're unpacking it all.
Because motherhood doesn't just reshape your body, it reshapes your people. And sometimes you outgrow folks. Sometimes you build a village you never had.
We're talking about boundaries, support systems, love languages, mom guilt, and learning to unapologetically put yourself first.
If your group chat is your therapy, if your toddler is your toxic coworker, or if your idea of date night is hiding in the pantry with snacks, this season is for you.
Let's talk about it. Let's laugh, cry, confess, and build this messy, anxious, loving village together. Welcome to Season 2 of the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club. Welcome back to Season 2 of the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club. We're still anxious, still thriving-ish, and still building a village, one meltdown, confession, and target run at a time.
And in Season 2, we're going deeper. And today, we're starting with the relationship that influences every other relationship in your life.
Yep, we're going there. The one with yourself.
Cue the internal screaming.
I was thinking about how many times I've looked in the mirror and barely recognized the woman staring back at me. Not because I don't love her, but because I've spent so long putting everyone else first.
Preach. Motherhood can make you forget you even have needs. You go from being a whole human to a snack-getting, appointment-making, emotion-regulating machine.
I mean, I used to listen to podcasts too. I used to go to the gym. I used to eat sitting down. Now it's like if I get a full glass of water before it's lukewarm, it's a good day.
And that's why we're kicking the season off here, because the relationship with yourself matters. And rebuilding it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be intentional.
So I'm going to get real with y'all for a second. I recently started a GLP-1 journey, and for those who don't know, it's a medication that helps regulate insulin and appetite, and it's often used in weight loss and diabetes management.
Yes, I have been so proud of you, Kylie. Not for just a number on a scale, not for a size, for your well-being.
Thank you. It was a decision I made after talking with my doctor, doing the research, and realizing I didn't feel good, and I deserve to feel good. I want to show up for myself the way I show up for everyone else.
Yes. You can't pour from an empty cup. And sometimes the first step is saying, I'm allowed to take care of me.
For sure. And it's no secret, weight is something that I've struggled with my entire life. And for me, it's not a number on a scale. I'm not worried about that. I want to be healthy and I want to live a long time for my kids. And I want to be able to keep up with them and do all the things that they want to do. And I want to be healthy. So for me, it's not a diet. For me, it's nothing that I'm not used to, but I'm really, really, really trying to make lifestyle changes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And, this week marks week number 4, I believe. My mom and I are getting up every single morning, and most mornings joined by my aunt. We all have golden doodles too, so that's fun. Mm-hmm. If you follow us on TikTok, you can see the life of the puppies on our morning walks. But Monday through Friday, we're getting up at 6:30, and we're going for a walk and trying to increase how far we go every single day. I text Gina last week. I'm like, and how long does it take to build a habit? Because I'm very, very, very sleepy.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. And I think it's really cool that you're doing it with your mom and your aunt. And I know Nora comes with you sometimes too. I think it's great. That makes it really, I don't know, kind of makes it a bigger experience even, because it's not just simply you even getting healthy, but it's like a family.
Yes. And I appreciate you and all of the tips and tricks. So another piece of this is that we are going to start Balanced Mom Blueprint. And that's where Gina and hopefully myself will share just healthy alternatives, I think. Yeah. One of the posts that we post about was Gina's recommendation for fudge bars. So in Jerseyville, we have a new ice cream shop. It's called Nana's, and I was a regular there prior to my recent wellness journey. And it's funny because somebody that works there, Mom and I saw her out on a walk, and I said, "Oh my God, I bet she misses me." My mom's like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Yes, it's true. I'm an idiot." But kind of my replacement for that has been fudge bars.
Yeah.
Never had a fudge bar in my entire life. And now I live off fudge bars now. But for real, if I need a sweet snack. So I appreciate all of the guidance and things. And I've been dying to try these peppers that she sent me the recipe to. And finally, I think today's the day. So I'm looking forward to that. But I want it to be a lifestyle change this time. I want to just make better choices. And, you've said to me along the way, like, I'm never going to recommend something to you that tastes nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's about compromises and different things like that. So I'm excited to bring the village along with us on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm learning. And here we go.
But it's okay because ultimately, just like I told you get a cheat meal once a week. It's always good to have
so pumped about that. I was so pumped.
It's important, I think, that when we, everything in life, I think needs balance that comes to whether it's, it's really for anything. I mean, we always need balance of any sort. I mean, even if somebody's going to the gym, but they're going excessively, I mean, it's not good to do anything excessively. You can start actually injuring yourself, or people go on diets to where they almost like are lacking in certain vitamins and minerals because they're too strict. I mean, too much sleep is not good. Too much of anything is not good. I mean, we always have to have balance, And so I think it's kind of cool to go through this with you to help you and give you ideas. And I definitely am all about, I can't stand when somebody's like, this is what you need to eat. And it's the most bland, boring food. And then you wonder why people don't stick with it long term.
Every protein shake that Gina sent me, I'm like, no, there is something about protein and Kylie that do not mix, like protein shakes. I don't know if it's the smell. I don't know what it is, but.
Well, and a lot of them don't really taste that great. You kind of do have to find ways to doctor them up to make them better. And it takes time, I think, to even find one of those that people enjoy, But I do think it is really about just everybody taking, even if you take the first step to make a change and just slowly but surely make the changes, I think people can feel better about themselves. And it gives you your energy back and you just, makes it better.
Yes, absolutely. I can already feel more energy.
Yeah.
In the day-to-day, which is awesome. And increasing my water intake too.
Yes, which is important.
Gosh, yeah. I got in like 100 ounces yesterday and I was pretty freaking proud. I've been averaging like 80, but it's still like 75 more than I was used to.
Yeah,
so we'll take it. And
that's good.
Ultimately, you can't pour from an empty cup. And sometimes the first step is saying, I'm allowed to take care of me. So
right.
That's what I'm doing.
Right. Which I think that lots of us don't spend the time making sure we do.
For sure.
Right. So
something that we rolled out on Facebook and kind of took a vote for, and a lot of people are here and about it, Gina's Balanced Mom Blueprint. So tell us about it.
So here's the deal. I hit a wall last year. I was over functioning, over giving, over analyzing, and under everythinging for myself.
Undernourished, underrested, and underappreciated.
Exactly. So I created what I now call the Balanced Mom Blueprint. And no, it's not a Pinterest board or a morning routine that starts at 4:30 in the morning, because that is so completely not me. I actually had done well some years back after my husband had all of his heart attacks and situation that we fell into. It was a very stressful time, and I feel like I stayed on task on doing as much as I could, probably for myself, but I definitely through the years kind of have fallen off and taking care of me. And so I think getting just like this blueprint back is a good thing. And I'm all about, you slowly ease into all those kinds of things. So it's more like 5 pillars I try to check in with every week, not daily, because who has time for all this? My mind, am I doing anything that stimulates or calms my brain this week? Now, that could be as simple as journaling, therapy, podcasts, read a book, whatever.
If you or a friend is looking for a podcast, the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club is the place to be.
And I definitely do listen because I always and I enjoy because it helps me, reminds me, even some of the things that I share, kind of need to remind myself of all those things too.
Except for a couple weeks ago when nobody listened to the podcast and didn't, failed to tell me that I had a big ass blooper there at the end.
Exactly. Then there's my body, right? So did I move? Did I nourish myself intentionally? Every meal, one thing you gotta remember, every meal does not have to be your favorite meal. That's important too, because a lot of times I think everybody feels like, oh, I don't like that. That's boring, but not every meal actually has to be your favorite. Realistically, food is just to nourish your body.
Changing that mindset has changed a lot for me. And again, being from a small town, like there are times that like we'll be like, oh, we're hungry. What are we going to eat? And like nothing sounds good. So like those are the times that we need to have healthy options like in the refrigerator, whatever, and kind of lean on those versus going to grab something from Dairy Queen or whatever the case may be. And we don't eat out a ton, but I will say since I've been, kind of on this, I call it the Better Us project, like maybe once, maybe twice a week. And, for the longest time after church, we've always done family breakfast. So that's been there. But I also saw something that has been super duper helpful. Also very eye-opening, but everybody's got their protein goals. And so it was a video I was watching and it's like how to tell if something that's high protein is actually high protein. And so it said to take the calories. So let's say something is 130 calories to get rid of the 0 at the end. It should have 13 grams of protein or more to be considered high protein or enough protein. And taking something like Kodiak pancake mix that is marketed as high protein, if you will.
Yeah.
Ain't that real high protein? I learned just by my quick new trick. So take the last 0 off whatever calories it is. So if it's 280 calories, you take the last 0 off and it needs to be at least 28 grams of protein or more. And even when I was at the grocery store, I would pick up 2 items and I was buying the one that had more protein because that's something I definitely struggle with. And just on my short time on the GLP-1 also, like I am not hungry. So I don't eat, and that is worse. So,
right.
But just little tips and tricks like that. And I'm looking forward to you sharing those kind of through the blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And honestly, it's a good little trick to give people because I think that's the biggest thing is I think when you go into the grocery store and you're looking at labels, sometimes it just becomes like, oh my God, I got to look at all these labels. One, it does open your eyes to some reality when you start looking at labels, but it is nice to have something like that, kind of a little trick to make it simple and easy for people to really understand and make sure they're grabbing the right stuff. So I like that. The other thing that I definitely think about is my relationships. So did I connect with someone? Not just the PTA group chat. Like, did I truly connect and make a connection with somebody? I think that that's important. Especially when you're just, especially throughout your week. I think it's very easy to get involved in our kids' lives, our husbands' relationships of, other sorts of whatever we have and not really focus on, an intentional thing that happened within either the people in your home, somebody outside, somebody at work. Thinking about those things is important, I think.
Absolutely.
For sure. Another thing is like the environment. Is there a space in my home that feels peaceful or at least not so chaotic? And in my house, it's pretty chaotic and it's not peaceful. I feel like we have people coming in and out all the time. Not even people that they're always expected. We don't have, I love to have an open door policy, but sometimes every person in the world does need a break. And
everyone has limits.
everybody has limits. And I do speak about boundaries. And I have to remind myself that there should be boundaries at times too, so that I can have a peaceful place in my home and take care of the environment that I live in every day, not just the environment everybody else gets to enjoy, but am I enjoying it right along with them?
Tell us about this massage chair.
So I have done things to make sure that I have some things for myself to relax. So one thing is I actually have a infrared sauna in my basement. I did that because of just all the health problems in general in the family, and especially mine. I just felt like it was good for health wise, but I also enjoy it for getting in there and kind of like you shut the door and tune everybody out in the house, which is really nice. And then from there, I have my massage chair, which, you know, is desperately needed in everyone's home. Definitely just, I get in it, I relax. I hope to not really be bothered too much. But at least if I am, I feel like I can still just, everybody knows I'm in this chair. Like nobody thinks that they need to tell you to get up and get out. But it's very relaxing and enjoyable and needed.
And
daily.
you listen to a certain soundtrack.
Oh, yes. I listen to bilateral music. So if you haven't listened to bilateral music, it's very good for anxiety, stress, PTSD. I was even telling Kylie about it the other day because I was sitting in my chair trying to relax. And if you sit with there and you have your eyes closed, it's just very, very soothing. But if you put it on your iPhone, you have to put it underneath like your chin, and you'll tell how the music kind of moves between your ears. So it's just different than listening to some other kind of music. It's very relaxing.
Full transparency, I had no idea what the hell she was talking about and had to Google it. So I'm looking forward to some bilateral music at some time, but I feel like since we've had that conversation, I haven't had time to slow down and stop.
Yeah. And you definitely do have to be where you're, I think, in a situation of ready to kind of like sit and relax. Cause I one time told my daughter just to listen to it and she was like, oh my God, I can't listen to that. But I think it is because it bounced between your ears. If you're not in a settled, like you're not like going to go sit and like close your eyes, you know, and take that deep breath and then listen to it. It doesn't have the same effect on you, but it's really good. Otherwise, I mean, it just really, when you sit in that massage chair and play that, it is the place to be.
I have, and anybody that has known me long enough knows that I went through one hell of a home renovation not too long ago. And my bathtub is my pride and joy. And I've got the bubbles and the jets and the whole. So that's where I will probably try it. Stay tuned, because something tells me I'll probably be like Kylie, her daughter, and be like, what in the hell is this? But we'll see. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on that.
Right. And one last thing that I always think about is joy. Did I laugh? Well, as you guys all know, I probably laugh too much.
No, you don't.
Laughing is not something that I have a problem with. I laugh probably at too many things sometimes when I shouldn't. But I usually do laugh. But probably the biggest thing I struggle with is, did I do one thing that was just for me? And that is one of the things that I'm trying my hardest to make sure that I do. Something that is just for me outside of everybody else. And that is one thing about doing this podcast. It is kind of just, you know, for me to have something that I enjoy to be able to share with people and do. And much as I hope I'm helping other people, which is a part of, you know, that I do at home too. But at the same time, you know, it's something that's just, it's mine and yours.
Yes.
You know?
I was going to ask that too. I'm like, do something for yourself. Do you mean daily, weekly?
Oh, I'd like to. Well, I don't think it's realistic I'll ever do anything for myself daily, but you know,
God,
we probably
nice?
all should do something for ourselves daily. But I think I have to look at more of the small things and then try to incorporate them. But at least if I do something for myself weekly would be a good thing.
That's awesome. I love this because it's not just a to-do list. It's a check-in. It's a relationship maintenance plan for yourself.
Exactly. We don't need to overhaul our lives in one day. I mean, we need to tend to ourselves like we do our kids, gentle, daily-ish, imperfect.
I used to think taking care of myself was selfish, or that I had to earn rest. But the truth is, the better I treat myself, the better I parent, the better I partner, the better I live.
And your kids are watching. They learn how to treat themselves by watching how you treat yourself. That's a legacy.
So to every mom listening who feels like she's lost her spark, we see you, we've been you, and you're not broken. You're just a little buried under the weight of everyone else's needs.
But we're digging out together, okay?
Yes. One boundary, one walk, one awkward self-love affirmation at a time. So, how do we stay motivated? How do we stay motivated to take care of ourselves? To, for me, what is the rule? How long does it take to form a habit?
Well, I think there's different studies that say different things. So it's like, even if you tell somebody something 7 times, that's enough. Then other people say, no, it's more like 12 times. So I don't know, there's a whole lot of debate on how much until it's a habit. I think it can be personal.
So ChatGPT says on average, it takes about 66 days to form a habit, not 21 as the myth suggests. 66 days. That is over 2 months. That is over 2 months.
Right. But I think for it to stay a habit that you never, ever, ever, like you make it, create it like a part of who you become, I think is longer than that.
For sure. For sure.
So maybe in that 66 days, it sounds probably realistic to say it's, where you kind of feel like you found a groove. You've kind of found like, okay, I'm getting it. I got this. I know how to, I think it's true in anything, people that like read books or go for the walks. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to even be related to health. You know what I mean? Like other things, you probably have to at least do it for 2 months where I feel like, okay, this has kind of become more my thing.
This is me. This is the new me. Now I will say with my sleep schedule, and getting up at 6:30, which normally I'm up a little bit earlier than that, to run my first bus route. But, even on the weekends, I was so freaking sad because I was up at 6:15. I'm like, dang it. But I definitely think that the key factors, there are key factors to influence that habit.
Yeah.
Would be the complexity of the habit, obviously.
Right.
I'm trying to do those, the daily walks and the increased water intake, and then consistency. So doing it daily obviously will help it stick faster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're just forming habits, good habits.
Okay. So in talking about habits, did you ever hear about like the 75 hard challenge?
Mm-mm.
So it's one where it's like you have to walk outside. I think it is like maybe twice. I never did this. So if you guys know what this is, then so if I'm wrong about anything, it is what it is. Yeah. I just know the gist. But you walk outside, I think like twice a day for like 45 minutes each time. You have to read 10 pages of a book. It's about forming all these habits. So it's not just, it's about obviously your diet and your exercise, but it also incorporates other things that you're supposed to be doing. It'll do, health benefits. Even like, I think when you take a shower, you're supposed to take so many seconds of the cold shower, all these kinds of things or whatever. And
does it have to be cold? Why does it have to be cold? I don't like cold showers.
This is why I didn't do the 75-hour challenge. I don't do well with cold, even though there's supposed to be some great health benefits when it comes to the cold. But I do think that like some of the stuff, even when I knew people that were doing it and they saw big improvements, from doing it or whatever, they'd all like definitely drop some weight and all that kind of stuff. But I felt like out of the whole thing, what was the most impressive to me was the fact that it was trying to definitely encourage some other behaviors other than just fitness. So just like reading 10 pages a day, I think it's one of those things where those are the kinds of things that I want to incorporate, I guess, into my life to be like, I don't know if I'm going to read a book, 10 pages a day, but but something, you know what I mean? Similar, and something that's different, something that's not just about I have to go for my walk or I have to eat my, veggies, but I want it to also be something that maybe I'll learn something new. I've always been real big anyways and telling the kids, there's something to learn every single day. And if you really are paying attention, you truly will. But I myself have even gotten away from that. So I think that's kind of one of the things I want to get back into a habit of doing. And even like the 10 pages a day is helping maybe kind of figure that out, I guess.
I like that. For sure. I mean, I spent years saying I'm just not consistent. Like it was a personality trait. And I used to say I'm not a morning person, but you know what I am? Exhausted. And when I started walking in the mornings, not even far, just 2 laps around the lake, my anxiety shifted.
It's like sometimes your brain doesn't want to do the thing, but your body remembers how good it feels afterwards. That's been huge for me with the Balanced Mom Blueprint. Half the time I don't want to do the mind part, but I always need it.
And you know what else? Starting this GLP-1 journey helped me realize that I was using my food as a relationship. It was a comfort reward and a punishment all in one.
Oh, yeah. That's a confession right there, Kylie.
Oh, I'm gonna save that for September.
Right, exactly.
And it won't just, it's not just about weight. It was about control. If everything else in my life felt chaotic, food was the only thing I could control until I couldn't. This journey has helped me take back some of that power in a much healthier way.
There is just so much pressure to do self-care right. Like, if it's not a bubble bath or a spa day, it doesn't count. But can we normalize self-care that's just brushing your hair or saying no? I need to learn the no.
I was just going to say.
I don't know it very well. I like to tell people, don't forget, you need to say, use your words.
For sure.
I don't use them very well.
No, I mean, even from afar, I can tell that, you've been run down lately and you're, I don't know. I just feel like you're at your wit's end and you need some
Yes.
Gina time.
Yes.
To regroup, recuperate, and all of us do, especially now. Summer's over, everyone's back in school. We're still working away. Some of us 2 jobs, and you can't forget to take care of yourself and show up for yourself.
Right, which is easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Or
folding the damn laundry. And listening to a podcast. I'm going to say it again. We've got one for you to listen to. And just not talking to anyone for 30 minutes.
Yes.
Like, just take care of you.
Yeah. Or going to that doctor's appointment, because I'm going to tell you, I put mine off all the time because it's another appointment that I don't feel like I have time for. I've already gotten to appointments for other people. And so mine become, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I know I was supposed to be there 6 months ago, but whatever. It'll be fine.
And that's part of my journey. I crossed that one off the list this morning. Getting my checkup.
Yep.
Sometimes self-care looks like chaos control, like building just enough structure so you don't spiral.
So if you're listening and wondering how to even begin rebuilding that relationship with yourself, here's your permission slip. Start tiny.
Seriously, like microscopic. 1 walk around the block, 1 glass of water before coffee, 1 journal entry that's just today sucked. It still counts.
Or try my favorite trick, habit stacking. Pair something you already do with something new, like stretching while your coffee brews or meditating for 2 minutes before you scroll.
I'm doing that. I'm starting every single night. I'm making sure that the dishwasher is running. Mm-hmm. And every morning when the coffee's brewing and, getting, whatever it is. Now I've got all kinds of these simple syrups and protein in my coffee and all kinds of crazy shit that sounds polar opposite of anything that I've ever done or I'm used to. But I'm emptying loading the dishwasher the night before, running it and emptying it in the morning, just anything, because I think that environmentally, your environment helps your mood or hurts your mood. And when everything in your life feels chaotic, I'm going to start to try to declutter 1 room at a time, try to start a cleaning schedule so it doesn't feel so overwhelming at once or all at the same time. Just little things like that to make life easier, because it's hard. Life is hard. And anything that I can do to just ease the burden of, some of the everyday struggles, I'm really working on that now.
Right. Like, that's why you should really put self-care on the calendar. Like, it's a damn meeting.
There you go.
Because it is. A meeting with the most important person in your life is you. We asked you all to share what you've done recently just for yourself, and the responses were pure gold. I took a nap in the middle of the day while my toddler watched Frozen for the 900th time. No shame. Another one was, I deleted a group chat full of drama. Best digital detox ever. Hey, weren't you just talking about those messages?
I was just talking about
That's
that.
a good one.
And as you were reading that, I was thinking, you know what? I need to do it to my email too. Like, I need to just clean shit out.
Clean it out. I like that a lot. And another one, I started going to the gym again. And yes, I cry on the treadmill sometimes, but it still counts. It does still count, because every minute that you get on that treadmill counts. It matters. It matters.
Absolutely. And to the mom who said she locked herself in the bathroom just to eat a snack alone, we salute you. This season isn't about reinventing yourself. It's about remembering yourself.
And we are doing it with you. We are not your gurus. We are just your fellow anxious moms fumbling our way toward better.
Season 2 is about growth, not perfection. Boundaries, movement, nourishment, laughing until we pee a little, and telling the truth about what motherhood really looks like.
So if you're working on your relationship with yourself, you're not alone. And if no one has told you this week, you're doing better than you think.
Now go drink some water, take a deep breath, and tell your reflection you're proud of her, even if she's in a messy bun and yesterday's mascara.
Next week, we're talking about the other complicated relationships, your partner, the good, the hard, the did you seriously just leave socks on the floor again of it all.
If you've ever wanted to throw a fork at your husband or boyfriend and kiss him 5 minutes later, this one's going to be for you.
If no one's told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You're not failing, you're growing. You're not broken, you're becoming, and you're doing better than you think.
Thanks for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another mom who might need to hear this. You can also connect with us on Facebook or TikTok at the ARMC. We'd love to hear your story.
Until next time, give yourself grace, breathe deep, and remember, peace is possible.